When a fighter gets hit with a punch like this and goes face first into the canvas, it is supposed to end his career. But it didn't end the career of Manny Pacquiao. Not only does he survive this moment, he goes on to bigger and better things. But the question is, how? The night was December 8th, 2012, the fourth fight between Manny Pacquiao and his arch rival Juan Marquez in a back and forth battle that saw Pacquiao go down in the third round, Marquez go down in the fifth round. The end of the sixth round comes and Marquez lands a lightning bolt. And as Marquez and his fans celebrate and Pacquiao lays there sleeping, he's faced with a choice: leave my career here or come back. And Manny Pacquiao decides to do what only a few great fighters before him have done in that same situation. Not only will I get up, shake myself off and come back, I will go on to do even bigger and better things to further cement my legacy as a legend and a Hall of Famer. Join me, your man Emazing Eric, as we talk about it today: how Manny Pacquiao survived Juan Marquez's lightning bolt. Let's get it in. The Emazing Eric Boxing Show starts now. E-fam, what's good? Woo! I got myself hyped with that intro. Let's go. Manny Pacquiao is a fighter who I feel like I am just recently starting to really appreciate. Of course, he has so many accomplishments. He's done so many things, but I feel like just now I'm starting to understand his impact on the sport of boxing and the legend that he truly is. But there are two things that Manny Pacquiao has accomplished that really stand out to me. I know there's a lot of different things for a lot of different people, but for me, two things really stand out. The first thing is his most recent accomplishment. At 40 years old, beating a 30-year-old fighter and winning a legit share of the welterweight championship of the world. The second thing is what we are talking about on today's video: how he responded to the devastating loss, being knocked out cold by Marquez. Because I personally believe that one of the true measures of greatness in a man or a woman is how they respond to defeat, how they respond to adversity. The first thing you have to understand to really know how great of an accomplishment this was for Manny Pacquiao is how this same moment has affected other great Hall of Fame level boxers in boxing history. I'm going to give you two examples of two boxers from the recent past who've gone through this same thing and how they handled it two different ways. The first one is the moment that Roy Jones Jr. was knocked out by Antonio Tarver in their second fight. Oh, that one still hurts to this day, like Deontay Wilder says, to this day. Roy Jones Jr. was flying high, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. The man had just won a share of the heavyweight championship from Ruiz. He lets Antonio Tarver talk him down to coming back down to 175 to fight him. They have a really close, controversial first fight that Roy Jones wins. Tarver talks even more, gets Roy in a rematch. The second round comes and this happens. Oh, that one still stings. That hurt me to my soul. Roy Jones Jr. was my man, my favorite fighter back then. I remember being a youngster watching that fight, sitting there with my dad wanting to cry. But look at what happened in that moment. Roy Jones Jr., the top fighter in the world, gets knocked out. He wakes up and stands up. He actually beat the 10 count. Referee Jay Nady just saw how woozy he was and stopped the fight. But think of it like this: Roy Jones Jr., the man, stood up off the canvas, but Roy Jones Jr., the great fighter, the top pound-for-pound fighter, never got up. He stayed down there on the ground. He was never the same again after that one punch. The second example is Lennox Lewis getting knocked out by Hakeem Rockman. Lennox Lewis was the man at this time, the undisputed heavyweight champion. He was out shooting movies, Hollywood movies with Brad Pitt, Oceans 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever part of that movie he shot, he was on one of those movies. Lennox goes in thinking he's gonna bum out Rockman, and then this happens. Ooh! Ooh, Lennox. Night-night, Lennox went to Dreamland, or as we like to call it, the upper room. But Lennox Lewis handles this completely different from Roy Jones. When they finally woke Lennox up, not just Lennox Lewis the man stood up, Lennox Lewis the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world stood up too, and he got that rematch with Rockman and did this to him. Ooh, again, ooh. A third time. This is like the 3 replays on the Fight Night video game. Lennox put him to sleep. Manny Pacquiao handled his more like Lennox Lewis. Now we know Manny Pacquiao couldn't handle his just like Lennox Lewis. He had to take a different path to redemption because Juan Marquez didn't want to fight again. Nuh-uh. Marquez was like that kid on the playground who was like, I've played this game 4 times and I finally got the result I want. I don't want to play anymore. That's what Marquez did. Marquez said, it took me 4 fights to get to this moment. I landed the perfect punch, the final conclusion. I'm good. I don't care how much money you offer me. I'm never fighting you again. And even though he didn't get to prove this against Marquez, we now know that when Manny Pacquiao the man stood up, got to his feet that night, not only did the man stand up, Manny Pacquiao, the 8 division world champion, the pride of the Philippines, the living legend, the first ballot Hall of Famer, stood up too. And another thing you must fully understand in order to really appreciate how great of an achievement it is for Manny Pacquiao to come back from this moment is how devastating of a knockout this really was. This wasn't just your average, I got caught with a punch. This was a train wreck. For starters, look at the picture. Look at the glove in Manny Pacquiao's face. Marquez's glove has just invaded Pacquiao's face. This shot right here ends 9 out of every 10 boxers' career. It's a wrap for them. And then on top of that, Manny Pacquiao crashes into the canvas face first. Former fighters, current fighters, trainers, boxing experts will tell you when a fighter goes face first into the canvas, his days as a top fighter are usually over. But look at Pacquiao's response to this as a fighter, as a man, still coming forward, still looking for contact, not gun shy, still taking flush shots right on the chin, tapping his gloves together, hitting himself in the jaw, and walking forward again. We just saw it with Keith Thurman at the age of 40 years old. Thurman's landing straight flush right hands on Pacquiao. Pacquiao's taking them and walking right toward Thurman. And whether you love Pacquiao or hate him, you have to admit, if you're being honest, that's something special right there. To take that bullet of a punch, a precise punch that was not a lucky punch. Hold on, wait a minute, hold it right there. Let's just show proof right now. Let's go ahead and establish that that was not a lucky punch. Because even if you're a Pacquiao fan, you gotta stop calling that a lucky punch. Because calling it a lucky punch actually takes credit away from Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is too good to get knocked out like that by a lucky punch. So here it is, once and for all proof that the punch was not lucky. Follow me, if you will, inside the boxing brain of Juan Marquez. Know this is a fighter who views boxing like science. That's why we've switched the screen up. Know in your head that when Marquez got into the ring with Pacquiao that night, before the bell even rang, he already had 36 rounds of experience with Manny Pacquiao. And what Marquez and his Hall of Fame coach, Nacho Berenstein, found is a little loophole, a little glitch in Pacquiao's attack where he is wide open and vulnerable to be hit. But the thing about this glitch is you have to have the courage to even try this, because if you guess this wrong, Pacquiao will knock your face off. Marquez says this after the fight, so I went back to study it and I go, wow, he was exactly right. Manny Pacquiao has a tendency, something he does over and over again. He likes to throw 2 light pawing touch jabs with his right hand to kind of feel where you are, gauge his distance, and throw that killer left straight down the middle. And when he does this, he's moving closer to you. He's still doing it now. Look at him. Here he is doing it against Keith Thurman in his last fight. Look. Touch jab, throwing the left. So in the 4th fight, Marquez comes up with this plan. When I feel the first jab coming, I'm gonna time him up. When that first touch jab comes at me, I'm gonna then lean forward, get in the floor, and sit on the right hand, moving towards him. Because remember, Pacquiao's coming toward you. I'm going to allow him to go ahead and hit me with that second jab. It's a touch jab. I can take that jab, and I'm gonna meet him right in the middle with a right hand. Basically saying I'm gonna swap punches with him. I'm gonna get hit with that second touch jab, but I'm gonna land the hardest punch I can possibly hit him with. Now, the problem with that, and why it takes a lot of nerve to do that, is you have to catch Manny Pacquiao throwing the double jab left hand, because he does switch it up. Sometimes he just throws a 1-2 where he just throws one jab out and then he fires that left. And if you guess wrong and you're wide open after that first jab, you're thinking another touch jab is coming and Pacquiao's throwing that straight left, night. Marquez would have got knocked out right there. And to further let you know that this was not a lucky shot, know this. This was not the first time in that fight that Marquez landed that exact same punch on Pacquiao. Go back to round 5. After Pacquiao knocks Marquez down, he starts to aggressively hunt Marquez right then. And at 1 minute and 30 seconds of the 5th round, I'm giving you the exact round and the exact time. Go watch it for yourself. Roy Jones goes, "Oh!" because he thinks Pacquiao's gonna get knocked out right there. It was the same thing, but the difference was Pacquiao saw it at the last minute. He saw the punch. And this is one thing about Manny Pacquiao. His chin is so great that if he sees your punch coming, you are not knocking him down or knocking him out. He will take that punch, eat it like Skittles. Right at the last moment, Pacquiao saw that punch. That punch would have dropped a lot of other fighters, but Pacquiao has an iron chin, so he ate it. In the 6th round, when Marquez lands that punch, Pacquiao didn't see it at all, and it put him to sleep. And please know this, as a Manny Pacquiao fan, you don't have to and you shouldn't call that a lucky punch. There is no shame in Manny Pacquiao getting knocked out by that punch right there. Anybody that gets hit with that punch like that night goes to sleep. Props to Marquez for that shot. I ain't no hater. That was a great punch. So let me end this video by telling you how I think Manny Pacquiao was able to recover and move past this moment in his career. His fans, the real Manny Pacquiao fans, I'm not talking about Jimmy Kimmel, who likes to follow him around, and Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, they're fans and I'm not hating on them at all. Good. I'm talking about the Filipino people, the real Manny Pacquiao fans. When Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez, when he made it home to the Philippines, they still had a parade for him. They were waiting on him. That's love right there, and I'm not mad at it at all. There is a connection between Manny Pacquiao and his country, the country of the Philippines, the Filipino people here in America, that is special and it's very strong. He fights for them and they fight for him. This man fully understands that he carries the hopes and dreams of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people on his back, and he uses that to get him through tough moments inside a boxing ring. So right now I need you to get in that comment section, light it up, and tell me how you think Manny Pacquiao was able to move past, not only move past, but go to even higher levels in his career after the devastating knockout loss to Marquez. Hit that comment section up. Until the next one, it's your man, Emazing Eric, y'all. Peace.